let's go ahead and get into that first mid-credit scene. Well, God, I'm not too fond of the actress, but Miss Charlize Theron is coming through by the name of Clea, another magician. I'm not too familiar with her, but she was first introduced to me from I think it came in 2005, the animated Doctor Strange movie, where Wong and Doctor Strange saved the day. They was like, hey, there's somebody we can go recruit named Clea. And that was the last time I've ever heard of her until now. And so how did y'all feel about, what y'all think about this right here? I like that the eye thing opened up at the very end, the third eye. You created an incursion. Let's go fix it. That
Are
was
you
dope.
scared?
That leaves the door open. But how did y'all feel about that? The first mid-credit scene.
Well, you meant you're definitely gonna have to educate me on this one because I'm not too familiar with the character. The look, I guess, is from what the look was okay. It kind of looked very cosplay. Like the look and design was kind of like last minute to me. I don't know if it's comic book accurate or whatnot. But I mean, it was cool as far as splitting up a dimension. I don't know if that was the dark dimension. Dormammu was it tied to that at all? But I don't know, personal stuff outside of her as an actress. I think as far as her as an actress, she's one of the most like exciting, or not superhero, but action female stars. So it's cool to see Marvel, scooped up Angelina with Eternals, and now we got Charlize in this one. So because her franchise was Old Guard, I don't know if that's going to be kicking off anything anytime soon. So we got an MCU
Already. Eman, how you feeling about her joining the MCU now?
I mean, like even the background, I wasn't terribly familiar with her either. The only thing I really knew was just the fact that she was obviously another magic wielder. She's like half something. I forget, it's like half fairy or half something something. Whatever. It's some other weird thing. But her and Strange end up, being together,
Oh,
or
thank
having a
goodness.
relationship. So
By
it's
Christine.
like
Yes.
exactly like
Yes.
Christine, it ain't never gonna work. But hey, what's going on, Clea? So
Yeah.
don't be surprised if they kind of, hint at some things here and there. But that's really it. To me, I'm just like, what was interesting to me was how quickly Strange, and I gotta go back and see this, but like they changed his clothes. Now I don't know if it was like another day or something else
Thank you.
happened. Because like at first he was in some weird sweater, and I was like, bro, your sweater game is terrible. But then they jumped to the credit scene, and he's wearing something completely different. And one of the things that actually has come across my mind, and I put this in the theory before or whatever. I think that Marvel's already been jumping from universe to universe. Like sometimes we're in the 616, sometimes we might be in the 19999. Let's not forget the MCU originally was the 19999. 616 was the comic books. So it was just kind of interesting to me that they officially put that 616 this time, whereas prior it was 19999. So I'm like, wait a minute, are we jumping? Because okay, if we're talking about the incursion, right? The whole point of the incursion, they're talking about realities or whatever. The comics kind of sort of made it a little bit more simplistic, where it was like, yo, Earth 1, Earth 2, they're on a collision course, and this is why the Illuminati was like, yo, somebody gonna have to make a choice. Like, you have one, you can either let one Earth destroy the other, and billions of people die, or if you do nothing, both realities are destroyed. And it was like a compromising position. Like, what do? Do you kill everybody? Do you kill only them? Is it like, what do you do? And again, the Illuminati were like there to make these hard decisions and stuff. So by having Clea come in here, I'm like, okay, clearly there's another reality that's, this is the incursion. Like all these realities are, and maybe this is part of the Spider-Man No Way Home aftermath. Maybe because with these tears in reality, it's causing a level of instability. And we did, by the way, see, I think, the Living Tribunal when they
Yeah.
were doing
When they
their
were going
first
through the
little
multiverse,
run
yeah.
and everything.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So,
Yeah.
it's very, very possible that like Clea is not coming there on her own volition. I think she's sent from another group of Illuminati that's like, no, we need you, Strange, to come and help because you caused this. Things are
like it.
wilding out.
I like it.
And that's actually what I'm more excited for. Like whatever I don't know if it was Secret Wars or whatever, but I think we're going to be jumping from one reality to another, where they're just going to have a smorgasbord of heroes, people mixed mixed identity. You might see a world where John Krasinski is actually Captain America. And like I know all the rumors were like Tom Cruise was supposed to be Iron Man and stuff.
Right.
I think they did shoot that stuff, but I think they're saving it for whatever this other thing is going to be.
Secret Wars, like you said.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think
that makes
that's
more
where
sense.
we're going to see that stuff.
Right.
And again, a change up in the lineup of Illuminati. There's a lineup where, Namor was in there. There's a lineup with Black Panther in there, T'Challa, and, all this stuff. So, I think that, they have Clea just kind of being that introductory piece, but I can't see her being deeper than that. I can't see her being deeper than I'm part of another Illuminati, similar to Mordo's role, and we just need your help. So I think it's really a continuation of that for now.
Right on. What else your final thoughts, bro? Eman, was those your final thoughts? So you got any final thoughts?
For everything?
Yeah, for everything.
I mean, look, good movie. I liked it. It's not perfect. It got the job done. It told me more about magic. It teased something I think that is going to be monumental. I love the fact that we have multiple issues going on. I mean, we got street level stuff. Kingpin is back. All right, whatever. But then we got Celestials coming. Then we got gods destroying and taking people's lives early. But now we have reality itself getting on the crash course with one another. And it's kind of like, yo, which way did we go? Which way did we go? Because we don't know which, what's a real threat or not. Oh, by the way, timelines are jacked up because Kang the Conqueror's out there wilding out too. So it to me, I'm just like, yo, I love the chaos. I love the craziness that's going on. I agree with you, Brandon, that I think that we could have done more world hopping. We could have done more madness in the multiverse, and maybe part of that is my expectations. I thought that we was gonna jump into the X-Men animated universe 1 second and jump into something else. Deadpool, where y'all at?
Right.
So I think this movie it did what it needed to do, but I don't think it lived up to the hype that people generated for it.
Not remotely.
So I agree with that, but I would not say that, some people were saying this movie was mid, and I was like, nah. Doctor Strange, the first one was mid. It was good, but it was still mid.
100%.
But this one is, like I said, it's an instant upgrade to what it is, and I hope they build on that moving forward.
Real quick before I come to Elliot, because you said something very important towards the end. You said it didn't live up to the hype. I think all of our expectations would be met if they never put Charles Xavier in the trailer. Because as soon as we saw that's when everybody lost their minds, like, oh my God, the X-Men are coming. But at the same time, that is what got everybody excited. That is what got it. So I'm on the fence because they just showed the forehead. I don't know. You guys in the comment section, y'all can let us know what you think. Elliot, what are your final thoughts, sir?
I mean, you guys have been, this is why I love these conversations. I mean, first off, to address Eman's comment, I think that just really opened my mind up to that first post-credit scene. Because like I said, I was just kind of like, oh, that's cool. Charlize Theron, whatever. Let's go into that. But then the more you start talking about it, it's like, wow, this does open up another realm of just, this is phase 4, but it's really phase 1. As far as, like Eman said, we got a taste of the X-Men, we got a taste of Fantastic Four, and this is really kind of the taste into the multiverse. I know we dove into it with Spider-Man, but it really didn't really live up to like the multiverse, other Spider-Man coming to it. So, and this is the next step to that. So I think, like Eman said, I think we're leading to, because right now, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, and the 5 films so far, we don't know exactly where we're headed in the MCU. Like, we knew Thanos was the big bad, but like Eman said, we got Deadpool, Hawkeye, and all the stuff on the ground level with Yelena. But then we have Eternals over here. We got Thor, the God Butcher, killing gods. We got all this stuff. So it's like, okay, where are we going? So that does make me excited. They're planting the seeds early on now to have a la Secret Wars, which makes me, going back to what you said about that makes more sense. Not have Tom Cruise in a Doctor Strange film, have him in an Avengers film that really bumped the ante up the stakes. Not having a Tobey Maguire reunite with Sam Raimi here, bring Tobey Maguire back for, Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland and other Spider-Mans, Miles Morales in a Secret Wars, which, if rumors to be had, that would bring the Russo brothers back, which we know they produced 2 of the biggest films in the MCU. So again, that just opened my mind to it didn't live up to expectations, but maybe we look back at this film in 5 years and say that's what's the catalyst to this jump off point to the multiverse of the real madness, hopefully in the future. But outside of that, I have fun with the film. As a horror fan, man, this really got me excited. And as I said in the DMs with the Blade thing, and I know Eman said it depends on the director. That is very true, but at least I know now that they're at least willing to go to those levels. Again, this isn't rated R. This isn't, blood, guts, heads falling off people's shoulders, but at least when they do have a strong voice in the directing chair, who knows what the director's going to do with Blade, but at least it shows me that when Mickey Mouse is on vacation, they can at least allow the adults to have a fun horror film with some gore and some stakes and some magic and some witchcraft and what have you. So this film at least allowed me to know that they can at least go to those stakes and goes to those horror moments if they have it in their bag. But outside of that, it made me like Doctor Strange a little bit more, which was a good thing for me. It made me really like Wanda even more, being that she can get to those levels, and I'm excited to see what they do with her next. And it's just the MCU, baby, and this is where we're at, and I'm excited to see what comes next. So Thor, let's see what your Love and Thunder have up his sleeve.
Yeah. Well said, gentlemen. I really did enjoy the film as well. Like I said at the very beginning, I think this is much better than the first film by far. I can't wait to own this on physical copy so I can get that crisp quality video at home. I think that'll be dope as hell. They stepped up everybody in this. Wanda, Doctor Strange, Wong, the powers, the abilities, all that. It was still disappointing in a few aspects, and it wasn't perfect, but I still enjoyed it. And I've learned my lesson, and I was already good at tailoring my expectations, but I'm gonna make sure I do that in the future. And Marvel, you got to get your marketing together, because I think y'all really dropped the ball on this. I think a lot of people would have enjoyed this much better if you would have held it back, and I don't blame Kevin Feige for it. But he doesn't control everything. He has a lot of power, but he doesn't have all the power.
Yeah.
So I don't want to sound like a broken record. If I had to give this a rating out of a 1 out of 10, I'm still kind of dancing between like a 7.5 and an 8. I'll probably land on 8 out of 10. And I'm still glad that Raimi's here and not Derrickson, because I'm just not a fan of other stuff that he's done. And so that's going to wrap it up. Unless you guys have anything else to say,